Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with our Ford GT here. And in the last episode we had a look at our rear tail lights. I think they're looking good. I may readjust them slightly, maybe the size of this bit at some point, but I think for the most part they're looking quite nice. We also did the spoiler in the last episode too, which worked out quite nice as well. I think in this episode what we're going to do then is think about what we're going to do with the kind of hatch for the rear trunk, for the actual engine bay inside here. So we're going to have a go at bringing all of this out, and then I think it's just one complete unit to complete the rest of the vehicle, which means that we're actually probably fairly close. Let's get rid of that. We're actually fairly close to getting the main kind of body areas complete, and then moving on to kind of the auxiliary components. So let's jump in and have a think about this. It's going to be a little bit weird, I think, for the most part, but we should be okay. The weirdest thing here is going to be getting this to match up nicely with our actual spoiler, because the spoiler isn't like the other panels. So over here, for example, we've got specific edges inside here that are going to match up with this one, so it means that those should match up nicely. Here we've got it a lot smoother, so it's going to be a bit trickier. I think what I do want to do though over here is maybe drop in another edge loop down there, just to make sure it's trying not to push too far away from that, so it's going to be a lot smoother like that, so it looks like it should be okay. What we're going to want to do down here then is we are going to want to connect, I think this is about where the lid starts, and it's going to run down here. It's going to get down level with the wing and then kind of curve up like that is how I kind of see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe start at that point over there. I'm going to move down around the wing and then or maybe drop that point there. So I think that's what we're looking to kind of do here. What we also maybe want to do at this point is I think we want to hit extrude on this and bring this out. And we want this to roughly connect up with our actual wing here, because I think we want this to sit a bit flusher, especially at the top. So maybe what we could do is grab this lower portion here, so maybe want to grab these. Let's just go and grab our edge slide. This is going to look worse before it looks better, so we'll just need to understand that. Let's take that down here, like so. I'm going to maybe actually delete these extra faces that are sitting as part of this, and also I'm going to smooth that out. So let's go and maybe, I think we're going to probably want, let's get that off. I think we're going to probably want to sit on the same area as the wing here. So we want these to sit down here, and so on, so that they're nice and flush. Let's get that one nice and low as well. So I think we want that to be along those lines there. I'm going to get rid of this face that's underneath here, and then this face that's there as well. So I think that's the idea of what we kind of want to follow for that. Does look like I've missed hit the wrong vertices here, so let's go grab that and snap that to the top. Okay, so let's just hide everything, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just extrude this down. Let's target weld that down here and here, and then I'm just going to go and go to mesh, and we'll fill the holes above these gaps just for now. Again, we will hopefully tidy this up a little bit as we go. We do want this though to continue around and then up here, just like we had before. Okay, I'll maybe take this to sit over here, so I'm going to hold down V and we'll snap that over there. Let's grab our edge transform. I'm just going to bring this forward a bit, and same with this one and this one. Okay, I'm going to hold V and maybe just snap to this one too, and then pull that over in this direction a little bit. Like so. So like I said, it's going to be a bit messier before it's looking good. So we'll pull that over, something like that. So the idea here is that we've got a little bit of a kind of a pop out bit, which is going to sit a little bit more flush with the wing. So when we smooth that off and this off, it's going to sit a little bit flusher along there. Okay. What we're going to want to do, I think, then, is think about how we're going to extract this boot lid. So let's maybe do that first, and then we can kind of fix anything that we need to afterwards. So I'm fairly certain this here is where it starts. So let's just jump in and have a look. Yep, so we can see we've got that line going down there. I'm going to grab both of these, just pull them up, something like that. And now what we could do is let's maybe grab our multi-cut and we'll drop our first dot in there. Actually, before we do, we're going to maybe want to drop in a placeholder just here. And then we can grab our multi-cut back and then we'll go down here. Go to this line, just bring that down there. I think we do want to go down and around here, so I'm going to grab that, this, and then just hit enter there. So I think we want to do something like that. Maybe with these we'll go a bit further in this direction. Okay. And then I think the best way to probably do this would actually be to I'm going to drop an edge. I think we're going to want to actually go on the underside like that. So I'm going to drop those edges in, and then I'm going to draw from one dot to the next, and then from this dot to the top one. And then once that's in place, I'm going to go grab these central ones, just hold Control and hit delete, just so that we can run this line on the underside here. And I think that will be beneficial because it'll allow us to position this a little bit easier with the lower bit of the smoother kind of portion of the wing here. So for example, when this is smoothed off, we'll be able to just drop this down to match that height when it comes time to smooth that too. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we want to do a little bit of adjustment down here. I'm going to grab my target welds and I'm going to move to that central one with both of those, like so. I think that's everything. What we can do now is grab this. I'm going to hold Control and hit delete. Okay, so let's have a go then at deleting that. I'm going to go in here, select all of those faces there. We'll just hit delete. Okay, so we've got a nice body line now going through there for us. If we hit 3 on that, you see that's running through there quite nicely. Okay, so one thing that's a little bit awkward about this is that this drop is going to make making this edge nice and flush a little bit harder. So we'll need to have a good think of that when we come to doing this main section. Until then, let's hit separate and we'll start to work on this section just here. So I'm going to grab all of the edges apart from these two central ones. Let's just have a go here at hitting Control E. I'm just going to pull down on the blue. It's a fairly simple shape, so I think for the most part that's going to look okay, which is good. Okay, so that's looking okay. We're going to want to drop in some edges to help us kind of secure the shape, just like we have in the past. And I'm going to start from this corner, so I'm going to grab my multi-cut because there's so many kind of off weird bits of geometry here. We're going to go with the multi-cut here. I'm going to drop down there. I'm going to run all the way down this edge here. Okay, I think we'll want to go over here. And then I'm going to go over onto this side and then down. We'll do that. So I'll grab my vertices to target weld. Let's take that one down there. I need to do a little bit more work here. And again, we're going to take everything to the central one. So we'll drag that one over here and that one down there. I think everything else should be fine. So grab that, we can hit 3. And we can see that that's going to run down there nicely. And we can see that that's sitting up against our spoiler nice as it goes down there, which is good. Now we can see here that we've got this edge up there, but we're not going to worry about that too much just now. We'll adjust that if we need to a little bit later. Okay, let's run one down this side as well. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut again. And I'm going to want to run from here. I'm going to go down and around the corner here. We'll maybe just go straight to that point. And then into the center, if it will let me. Okay, so we can hit enter on that too. I don't think we've got any, oh maybe down here. Let's target weld this point over there. Okay, so that's looking quite good. Let's drop a loop down there as well. Okay, what I'm going to do over here is let's maybe take these 3 edges. We've got our edge, let's just double check. Yeah, that will run down there fine. I'm going to hit 3 on the keyboard here. And I'm just going to try and soften that a little bit by having that run down there. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I think having something like that would be quite nice. Okay, so everything else here is looking not too bad. We do want, I think, to add a bit more to this. So firstly what I'm going to do is add a bit more depth. I'm going to pull that down a little bit more. And I'm going to grab all the lines associated with both of these here. I'm going to want to make sure we're taking these ones too. I'm going to have a quick go at a bevel there. Reduce that fraction down. I'm going to maybe reduce it to like 0.05. Let's get in nice and close because we're going to have a lot of vertices down here. Let's have a go at merging all of these together. So I'm going to merge those to that central one. And I've got one more here. We'll just leave that one, maybe see how that goes. Okay, so that's looking okay. Let's maybe have a look at what happens if we merge this one down there. Okay, so I think we'll look better without that merge, so I'm just going to roll that back. So we've just got that in there. Okay, so I think that's looking quite nice. Let's just hit this. We can see it's all flowing around there really nicely. This here, we want to be way further in this direction. Let's maybe just grab both of these and move those over there. And maybe what we could also do is insert an edge loop down here. Just to help kind of carry that shape all the way to the edge. We can see that that's bobbling up just down there. Okay, so that's looking okay. What we might want to do is we might want to think about grabbing these edges here. I'm going to take all of those and I'm going to maybe bevel these. Okay, I just want it to be a fairly small bevel, something like that. Because that kind of gives us a little bit of extra shape in there. Let's maybe bring in the wing. Okay, so I think that's probably, that bevel probably isn't the best. So let's dial that back. Maybe what we could do is just bevel this edge. Just trying to get a little bit more definition there. Maybe we'll undo that. Maybe let's try this edge as well then. I'm maybe going to deselect the ones on the side. Okay, so something like that looks okay. Let's go in and just tidy this up. So let's go, and I'm just going to merge everything down to that point there. And then down here. Everything down to that point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my edge slide and I'm just going to make a little bit more space. So that one's okay. I'm going to run down here. Let's target weld these two together. I'm just going to make a bit more space in between these. Like that. Okay, so we've got a lot subtler definition inside there, and then hopefully that should stretch out a little further to kind of intercept that wing across there. And then the last thing I think we'll want to do for now is let's maybe just take this bit. I'm going to want to go and drop all of this down. And we want it just to be underneath the kind of starting for the wing there. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this. I'm going to insert an edge loop. I'm going to want to go all the way across here. Okay, let's just come all the way out to this edge, around the corner there. And we're just going to want to make sure that we're target welding whatever's kind of here. I'm just going to grab everything and merge them together. Okay, just so that we've got that to a little bit more of a point. And then what we want to do with this is grab all of these, and we want this to sit down. Get rid of my edge. We want this to sit down with that spoiler there. So I'm going to take that down, something like that. Okay, so I'm thinking that area is looking okay. Let me drop on our car paint. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. I'm not massively happy with how this is forming around here. Maybe see about taking this a little bit further away. Yeah, something like that. What I'll probably do in between episodes is I'll probably clean all of that area up, just in the interest of time, because we obviously want to continue with the rest of the car. So I'll probably make a couple of changes to that, and then in the next episode I'll kind of show you what I've come up with in order to fix that up. But we've got this last little piece, and we can see that's already going to run around there fairly nicely. We do need to help it out a little bit in that corner. This is going to be the hardest piece. It's going to be obviously quite large. I don't think there's any more kind of panel gaps. So let's maybe isolate the selection for this. And I think what we'll do is we'll spend this time just extruding everything in, kind of prepping it ready for the next session. So I'm going to go take all of these. I'm going to hit Control E, and I think what we'll do is I'm going to take them in. I'm going to hit Control E again, and then I'm going to pull them in that direction. So I think that's probably what we're going to want to do inside there for that vent. Let's go and take all of these edges here. So maybe all of these ones here to do with the rear arch, and then all of the edges down there. Let's just see. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm going to pull those in this direction here, just a little bit, basically just to match the same distance in there on the bumper. Okay, so in these ones here, I'm going to take these two, I'm going to go up. Actually, let's take these three and go up. Okay. And maybe what we'll do is we'll target weld this vertices up there. So I'll start to kind of go underneath. I'm going to take this one in that direction. So I can grab all of these edges. I hit Control E for these two. Bring those in. Let's target weld that one. Gonna grab these two. Just gonna push them down and take all of these. I'm gonna extrude those down as well. Let's target weld that up there. Okay, let's grab this one and go in to the left a little bit. And I think all of these will be fine to go straight in. So I'm gonna grab all of these. This is probably the panel I've been looking least forward to. Hopefully it won't turn out too tricky, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it is going to be quite an interesting one. Let's go and grab, I'm thinking all of these. Actually, I'm going to take these ones as well. Merge those together. I think we'll take all of these ones in order to go vertically maybe actually not those ones. So these ones can go down. Okay, and then I'm going to target weld that one down there. Okay, so I'm going to take these last ones. We're going to hit Control E. I'm actually just going to pull these ones on the blue. And they should all kind of just form nicely. I'll take that one down there. Okay, so then that's okay. Over here, let's take these ones. I think these ones should go on the blue quite nice. And again, maybe not. I'm going to take these two then. Let's merge those together. Let's grab this one. Hopefully I'll be able to do edge slide for this. Take that over there. And I think for all of these we could probably go in. So we'll go in that direction. I think this is probably one of the largest panels of any car, at least that I've modeled. I'm just going to take those last ones there, hit Control E. Let's see how the blue does. I think the blue is going to do okay for us on the component mode. Drop that down there. Okay, so I think that's going to be okay. Let's take all of this. Not that one. It's going to be really hard to see inside here. Okay, I'll grab all of that. Let's hit Control E and move in on the red. Okay. I'm not going to go all the way to the last one. We'll see how we go without that, because we're not going to see anything in there anyway. I'll grab all these, hit Control E, pull those in here. These ones are going to go down. Okay. Put that down there. Go in with those two and then down with these two, and that should be hopefully everything. Get these into position. And then we'll target weld these last ones here too. Down there. Okay, so I think we've got all of that now, so let's just bring the rest of the car back in. Whilst we're here, I think we forgot to duplicate special over there. Okay, I'm going to duplicate special our final bit, and we can see here now that we've got our very last body panel inside here. So this is quite exciting to finally get this nailed. I'm going to hit 3, and it's kind of going to give us an idea of what the rest of the car is going to kind of look like here. Okay, let's maybe add in some easy ones whilst we're here. I'm going to go and drop in our usual edge loop here. We'll drop one just there, The next one's not going to be so easy because we've got this line that runs off there. Maybe we've got time just to drop that one in. So I'm going to drop a placeholder vertices just here, which will allow me to drop an edge loop on this side. We should be able to actually just draw the rest of this in place. Like so. Drop a loop down there just to grab both of those edges. We can bring that up here. Okay, and then let's just go for a quick target weld up there. Actually, let's go down there. Okay, so we've got our arch in there looking quite nice, which is good. So I think we'll stop there then for that episode, guys. In the next episode we'll get this bit completely finished, which will be really cool, and then if there's time in that episode we'll maybe get some of the trim pieces nailed as well, but we're looking really close. So if you enjoyed this episode, guys, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will have a look at this in between episodes and then give you guys a little update as to what that looks like, but we're getting really close now, guys, and I will see you in the next one.